If we want the best brains to go through to university, we can't keep continuously saddling them with massive debts for the future.
In recent years, the increase in university tuition fees has become a worrying concern for students who want to go to university. A report of the National Committee of Inquiry into Higher Education showed that in 1997 it was agreed that the government could no longer afford the expansion of higher education because of other financial arrangements. So, will an increase in university tuition fees really have a negative effect on people who want to apply for a university course? Will students be put off by having to take out student loans? Or has the increase had no effect at all?
Most of the people who go to university, on the whole, even when you get to 50% of the young people going to university, most of them tend to be the better off. Because people who are better off, more middle class, tend to do better at school, tend to get through to the A levels and tend to get the qualifications to go to university. So a heck of a lot of money was being spent on supporting the better off to go through university. Now, we want people to go to university, but what we also want as a Labour Party is real equality of opportunity.
I think at the time when I was going to uni, it was around 1,200 for tuition fees, and then on top of that you pay for accommodation if you're on campus.
According to the National Office of Statistics, in 1990-91, 3 in 10 eligible students had taken out student loans, but by 1998 this had increased to more than 6 in 10, and total public funding of higher education institutions in England was around £4.7 billion. By 2007-2008, the maximum fees had increased to £3,070. However, controversial issues have risen because of this. A rise in university tuition fees means an increase in the amount of money borrowed to cover these costs.
We are putting one heck of a lot of money into universities, and we just had to, you could have expanded that. You wouldn't have had the money to put into nursery education. Nursery education now is available to all. I call it's the new frontier of the welfare state, and I'm really proud of it because I was the person who devised that bit of the policy as well.
Nearly every university has increased the cost of going to university since the beginning of the 1990s. Costs of accommodation, equipment and tuition fees have rapidly increased.
I think if there's a justification, the money is obviously going back to improve resources and buy new up-to-date equipment for the particular courses or in general for campus redevelopment, then there is an argument for it. The money's got to come somewhere, unfortunately.
If they're using it for something good, like advancing people's education, then I think it's only fair. I mean, part of our tax goes towards the NHS anyway, so using it to advance the community and the next generation, I think is a good idea.
Essentially, it could go either way. I mean, obviously, if student funds increase and that people who deserve it on their merits and the means tested status can obviously prove that they need to be supported, then I don't think it will make any difference. But if there is a change into how students can apply for university and the money is not made available, then of course we're going to see a decrease in the amount of numbers of people who continue their education.
When we first introduced tuition fees, all the students who really campaigned strongly against it said it's going to completely smash the number of people wanting to go to university. It's going to go right down. Actually, I'm afraid they've been proved wrong. The numbers going to university and wanting to go to university have gone up.
Most students fight against a rise in university tuition fees, and this documentary will take you through some of the reasons why they're against it, but also show you some of the positive outcomes of the increase.
The council's aware of the problems. I think there have been a lot of discussions on the cost to students of taking university degrees and moving on. But nothing can be done until after the general election because there's going to be a review anyway, and until the results of that review come through, we won't really know.
I do think that students need to be wise and sensible with how much they accept from the local government. I think the maximum that they can offer you is up to £7,000, and some people don't actually need £7,000. All they need is about £3,500 for accommodation.
Whereas if a student stays at Havering College to do their degree, then we can give financial support. We get a certain amount of money from the government, but also we use our own money to give financial support, just like we do with FE students when a person's got hardship.